Welcome back, Steeler Nation. Thanks for taking the time to spend a little time with me. I always appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, of course, you guys know I could have held this information until tomorrow. Tomorrow being Tuesday. You know what I'm referring to. Terrible Towel Tuesday. Boom, right there. Shameless plug. Terrible Towel Tuesday, guys. Each and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when I'm live. Also accepting phone calls. Always look forward to that. I could have held this particular topic of today's video for tomorrow, but I wanted to get this information out preliminarily so we can stew it over and maybe have a deeper discussion about it tomorrow. And what am I talking about, some of you guys may ask? Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, appear to be active early here in the offseason. It is already February the 12th. 2024, Monday, February 12, 2024, and the Steelers have made three significant, announcements in terms of guys that are released, and I'll talk about why I think it's some key information to pay attention to. So, what am I referring to? Some of you guys may ask. Well, in case you don't know already, Pittsburgh Steelers have relieved the following players of their duties. That would be Presley Harvin, Chukwuma Okorafor, and Mitch Trubisky. Now, interesting enough, I don't think it's a big surprise to most people in Steeler Nation. However, it is something to pay very close attention to because this definitely affects free agency as well as the draft. And let me just explain why really quick. Obviously, we're going to start with the lower of the three. And I'm not saying this as far as level of importance because obviously this is very important, which is the reason why Presley Harvin is being relieved of his duties. Punting is absolutely important. You want a guy who's consistent. You want a guy who can pin guys deep or just be consistent with your averages. Not making the critical error at the wrong time. And we saw that way too much with Presley Harvin, where there's one game or during the game he has a booming kick, the very next kick, or when it's a key situation, it goes off of his foot, and he just didn't consistently boot the ball the way he was promoting himself to be a big leg kicker. I mean, obviously, we all have seen his body type, a much bigger frame than a normal punter, but it just never came into fruition in terms of consistency. So the Steelers have seen enough. But this one I wouldn't say is as important in terms of an immediate need via free agency or draft, but it is definitely a position to keep an eye on. Let's see if they're going to go the veteran route, or if they may be looking to draft a guy the same way they drafted Presley Harvin in round 7 of 2021, I believe. Now, next on the list, Chukwuma Okorafor. For those of you that don't know, that may be watching this, that's not familiar with the Steelers roster. This is one of the Steelers' right tackles. I say one of the Steelers' right tackles because for the last few years, he was the starting right tackle. However, he lost his spot to rookie Broderick Jones, who the Steelers drafted last year, left tackle out of Georgia. But Broderick Jones was able to get in the game and continue his starting position as a right tackle as opposed to left tackle because the Steelers were already set, and I won't say set like we're happy with him, but they already were set with Dan Moore on the left side. They wanted to give Broderick Jones some, in-game experience and allow him to continue to flourish and continue to grow as a rookie. So they started him at right tackle in place of Okorafor. Now, what makes this interesting is most of us were saying that they need to find a legitimate right tackle, right? And let's see if we can move Broderick Jones over to the spot where they drafted him for. Let's see if we can get him over to left tackle. And me still having that same sentiment, it makes it very interesting now for free agency and the draft, because I think tackle is absolutely in play for the draft. Absolutely. And I'll be very, 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 very closely watching what tackles they're pursuing. Are they right tackles or left tackles? Because I really want to know what their plans are for Broderick Jones. Are they planning to go ahead and get him over to the left side? Are they looking for a solidified starting right tackle to move Broderick Jones to the left? Maybe Dan Moore becomes the swing guy. We'll see. But this is a very important piece. We all know what the Steelers pretty much need going into the draft, and some of you guys know what you would want them to do. There's quite a few positions that you could say is a high need for the Pittsburgh Steelers Offensive line tackle spots would be one of them. So you want to be paying attention to what's going on in free agency, and that's going to always kind of let you know where they may be approaching or what they're looking to do mostly in the draft. And last but not least, which is a real significant component, Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky, as most of you would know, in Steeler Nation, Mitch Trubisky, until today, was the only other quarterback under contract for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have to remember, Mason Rudolph is not signed through next season. His contract ended for the season of 2023. Both Art Rooney as well as Mike Tomlin have already expressed that they would like to have him back, but that's not a guarantee. It all depends on what Mason Rudolph wants to do. Both Mike Tomlin and Art Rooney also have already basically said that it's going to be Kenny Pickett's job to lose going into season 3. New offensive coordinator. They're still, sticking with their first round investment in Kenny Pickett. So that might play a factor with Mason Rudolph. He may look at that and say, look, I don't want to do this song and dance again. I sat behind, obviously Ben Roethlisberger. Then when it was my opportunity to play, I played a little bit here, played decent. Didn't have the best game sometimes, but then he was in a back and forth battle with Duck Hodges, fighting injury and also fighting Duck Hodges. Gets back in the lineup, gets hurt again. I mean, his career had been up and down. Then he has to sit behind Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. And then in this past season of 2023, he comes in relief of Kenny Pickett. Well, I'll say relief of Mitch Trubisky, while Kenny Pickett was getting himself healthy. And he went on a 3-game winning streak and looked good in it. So I can understand if Mason Rudolph feels like, listen, I think I have an opportunity to go play somewhere. I don't want to just be a backup. So, thanks but no thanks. I'll move on. I enjoyed my time in Pittsburgh. We'll see. That could be part of it. So then the next question is, well, what are the Steelers going to do at quarterback? They bring in a veteran? Do they draft a guy? Do they bring in 2 veterans? It gets dicey. And like I said, I'll talk more about it tomorrow on Terrible Towel Tuesday, man, because I really want to get some input from you guys in the community. Listen, seeing a lot of things floating around out there. Some people are saying they should go after Russell Wilson. Some people are saying they should go after Kirk Cousins. Just recently I saw, now they're saying that maybe the Steelers should sign Ryan Tannehill. And I'm like, and not only is the media saying it, I see the fans saying it as well. And just my quick 2 cents on it, and I'll dive into it more tomorrow. I'm not necessarily looking for a Tannehill type as a stopgap. Not taking away from Tannehill, but at this point, I feel like if Kenny Pickett doesn't work out, I want to go try to find another franchise guy, long-term, young guy. Like that means drafting another guy. I don't want to grab some of these veterans that's only going to give you a couple years. And I don't want to do that. I would rather, if they're thinking like that, go get some youth, right, to compete or replace Kenny Pickett, if that's what it comes down to. Don't bring in a guy like Tannehill to, I don't know. But I mean, Ryan Tannehill, no disrespect to him, but I think you could get that type of play out of Kenny Pickett. So I don't want to continue to play this game of who's playing better. No, I want it to be where the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback is a solid quarterback. We're not saying, oh, he's playing better than this guy did, and oh, he's playing better than that guy. No, I don't want to play that game of who's better, Pickett or Trubisky or Rudolph. Was Rudolph better than all 3? No. I want to get back to a point where we have a decisive, clear-cut starting quarterback, and that's what I would rather have on the roster. So we'll see. But like I said, man, we're going to dive into this tomorrow. Again, let me throw my plug up right there. Terrible Towel Tuesday. Make sure you tune in. Hold on, guys. For some of y'all that don't know, let me throw the number right there on the screen. You will be able to call in tomorrow, man, as long as Blog Talk Radio is cooperating. But you'll be able to give us a call. Area 619-924-0818. I look forward to the calls and I look forward to the live interaction. So make sure you come by tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But outside of that, man, hey, I'm going to have to remind you guys like I do each and every video. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. If you like what you saw here tonight, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And outside of that, turn on your notifications so you're fully aware when videos have been uploaded and or live streaming. Outside of that, man, hope you guys have a great evening. I shall see you guys tomorrow. And hey, like always, thanks for tuning in. Catch you in the next one. Peace.